Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nemeko Nyekobiri. Many have questioned the rationale and the altruism behind the move by the National Assembly to amend the relevant laws to put 50% tax on excess FS gains of deposit money banks. And some have tried as much as possible to paint it from the negative light. See, Nigeria is at a position today where many of us must grow beyond partisan politics, grow beyond emotional awareness, and support the government when they are doing right, and critique them structurally and honestly when they are not doing right, and provide credible solution. Nigeria belongs to each and every one of us. It does not matter who is Mr. President, or who is Senior President, or who is House of. Yes, some of you will say, okay, yes, leadership is very, very important, but leadership also flows from the people. And people are able to make informed judgment when they are presented with superior, incontrovertible knowledge and information that will guide them in their decision making. The move by the National Assembly to tax 50% of excess or FS gains of banks is a move in the right direction. I want to commend President Tinubu. I want to commend Ababio and Abbas. In fact, if I am in their position, I will increase to 80%. Most of you do not even understand why we are where we are today. Let me tell you, there can be no corruption. There can be no money laundering. There can be no conduits to outflow dollar out of Nigeria without the active connivance of the leadership at deposit money banks and the BTCs. For most of you who are not aware, between 2015 to 2023, under Buhari and Mefele, Nigeria actual total inflow from diverse sources, crude oil exchanges, sales, non-oil export, diaspora remittance and everything, was about $635 billion. Go and cross-check and fact-check me. Total outflow through the official sources was $451 billion. Net, we had a positive net inflow of over $180 billion from the official channels. But basically what happened was, most of the 23 trillion that were printed through ways and means were actually used allegedly to mop up most of the excess dollar inflow that came into Nigeria. Between 2015 and 2023, Nigeria had no reason to have lost the value of the dollar from $1.99 to $1 to $6.70 to $1 when Buhari handed over power. And we must congratulate the National Assembly and President Tinubu for this move to tax the excess FS gain of banks. Let me tell you, the role of deposit money banks is financial intermediation. Financial intermediation simply means providing an honest and transparent platform where deficit economic units mixed with surplus economic units and interchange of play. It's very simple. It simply means those who have excess cash put their monies in the platform called banks, and those who do not have excess cash but have creative ideas, creative projects that they want to fund will go and borrow from those that have surplus economic units had kept in the bank, which is the intermediation platform. In senior clients like the US, UK, even South Africa, you will never see anybody dressed in miniskirt coming to ask for deposit and all manner of pressure. In fact, most of the real bankers in Nigeria are exiting Nigeria. Basically, today in deposit money banks, people are promoted based on the amount of deposits you're able to bring. So practically, our girls have been turned into prostitutes. As long as you have an uncle or a brother who is politically connected, a minister, a governor, and is able to give you public sector funds to come and deposit in the banks, you get rapid promotion. It's not based on your skills, it's not based on your knowledge, it's not based on your ability to analyze the 5 C's and create risk assets that will help to grow the real sector of the economy. It's all about deposit, and which is not how banking should be. Basically, nobody. I've lived across different parts. I've stayed in the US, I've stayed in the UK. I've never, throughout my stay in the US, throughout my journeys in other parts of the world, I've never seen anywhere where bankers come knocking, begging for deposit. It's very simple dynamics. If surplus economic units, how do banks generate deposit? Banks go out there and ask for those that have surplus economies to put in their money. You pay them good interest rate to attract them to put their fund. Based on the interest rate that you charge depositors and the other cost of running the bank, when now people come to borrow, in most instances, the short-term fund, those people, banks' jobs are to analyze what they want to take the money for. Then allow them to create CPs. Banks will put their guarantee to it. Because bankers are acceptances, the bank will add their own spread and collect their fees. And they match the two units, and everybody is happy. Real sector grows. Those that deposited the money will earn income. Those that are borrowing the money will do economic activities, do production, pay the interest, pay the capital, and the economy grows. But basically, what we saw over the last 8 years, between 2015 to 2023, was first of all, they created a multiple exchange rate market that had arbitrage windows of over 200, 300 naira, and from official market to para market rate. And most of the 23 trillion naira that they created through the ways and means, we actually used to mop up the excess dollar. If we looked at the dollar inflows and dollar outflows that happened in Nigeria between 2015 to 2023, by now the dollar should have remained at 199 to $1, or even lower. To 199 to $1, or even lower. Basically, this is exactly what happened. And this was a practical interplay between the Ponzi political bandits, the Ponzi deposit money banks, the BDCs, and the regulator becoming weak and becoming a partisan players in the scheme of things. And for us to fix this country, we must understand how these things work. We must apply knowledge. We must say the truth. In fact, the move by National Assembly, they should even charge 80 to 90%. Most of these banks took long positions, and this long position wasn't because they were projected. Let us not deceive ourselves. Most of them got insider information, allegedly got insider information, and they were mopping up the dollar to place in long-term position, anticipating devaluation to happen. And because they were mopping up the dollar, it wasn't better they were mopping up to open houses or do economic activity. They were mopping up, taking long-term positions, stockpiling it, piling pressure, not because they wanted to use the dollar to import things that will add to economic productivity in Nigeria. So basically, what the National Assembly had done, and for most of you who are thinking, oh, it's going to affect the citizens, how is it going to affect the citizens? How is it going to affect those who have put their money in banks? When the National Assembly if they increase it to 90%, when the banks know that playing games in the FX market, trying to trade long-term position, trying to manipulate the FX exchange, trying to ride on the wings of the distortions in the economy, when they know that by the time they pile up all those monies, the government will take it from them through tax. Most of them will now concentrate on creating risk assets and adding value to the real sector or economy. Have you bothered to ask yourself, Cadbury declaring losses, Nestle declaring losses, every other real sector player declaring losses? The only people that are declaring bumper trillion profit are the banks. In developed economies where things work, banks grow as the balance sheet of their customers grow. Banks tank. Most of us knew what happened, the subprime wahala that happened, and other time, what happened between in 1990s, 99, 98, what happened between 2008 to 2010. We saw what happened. Once the economy of the whole world, once economic activities go south, bankers' positions go south. A year in Nigeria for 8 years, the economy was tanking. Nigeria entered depression. Things were happening negatively, but the bankers were declaring massive profit from FS gains, massive profit from taxing people, collecting all manner of charges and fees, and all manner of nonsense. Most of us did not see this thing the way it should be. I encourage the National Assembly. I commend President Tinubu. I commend the National Assembly. They should increase the tax to 90%. The bankers should concentrate on creating value. There can be no money laundering in Nigeria without the active participation of bankers and the BTCs. And we know this truth. Most of the bankers also actually act as conduits to help those who operate at the 3 arms and 3 tiers of government to move our FAC and JAC and IGR out of Nigeria. And we know this truth. Why are we deceiving ourselves? Kudos to President Tinubu. Kudos to the National Assembly. In fact, President Tinubu should quickly sign the amended act immediately. Banks should concentrate on creating value. The role of banks is to act as financial intermediators to provide the platform for those that have excess funds to put in their monies there and earn income based on deposit rates. And then for those that want to borrow, what the bank simply use to make a spread, calculate the cost and the risk, and make a spread. Then as long as we allow them to keep on playing all this yo-yo-yo game, acting as money laundering, round tripping frauds, Nigeria will not make progress. And that is the truth. And one of the ways you build the economy is to put laws in place that create deterrence. And the deterrence is when the banks know that even if they declare trillion naira profit based on FX gains and they will lose 90% of it, they will concentrate on making profit through creating value for the real sector operators. That is why when you go to any bank to go and take money, they will demand for your father, for your mother, for everything that is impossible. But they are busy creating wahala, creating all manner of things. I am a banker. Make no mistake about it. It's my constituency. But the truth is, we must do things right here in Nigeria. We must stare the truth in the face and say the truth. It don't matter whose ox is God. There can be, see, once we fix the rot in the banking system, fix the rot in the judicial system, fix the rot in our electoral system, electoral reform, and fix the civil service and by civil reform, these 4 key sectors, once we do it, Nigeria will be restored to the path of glory. And that is the truth. I so submit. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.